Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone this morning? So cool. There we go. There we go. I hope everyone is well this morning and ready to make some art. I sure am. And I am so excited. I can't believe how excited I am to do. I hope that everyone has gone to the Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group and gotten your the free printable. You'll need that for today. Keels, did you get the printable? I hope. I always have to turn the volume down because I listen to music on my iPad when I'm working otherwise. And so I have to make sure that that's not... Okay, so everybody needs to make sure that they go to Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group and print off today's art printable, and then you're going to know who the artist is that we're studying today. Not just yet. So, just as long as everybody prints it, then we are good to go. So if you are brand new here, if you would like, follow, and subscribe to Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. And share us, please. We would love to, you know, make the world an artier place. Oh, and then ask to join our private Facebook group, Stitch Along with Anne Corbiere-Scott, or excuse me, Stitch Along with Anne, and then Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group, which is where you will find the printable for today. And it looks like this. So we're going to be talking about Jeff Koons today. So I'm thinking that we will... we'll talk a little bit and then we'll start to creating. So Desi and I have already done this and we had ourselves a time. So I want to talk a little bit about Jeff Koons as an artist. He is quite controversial, as lots of artists are. So he's a pop, neo-pop, and a post-pop contemporary artist. He was born on January 21st, 1955, so that means he's still alive. So there's a lot of really interesting information. There's a lot of really interesting information about him because he's so controversial. So I wanted to share with you what we are making today. So you're going to take your art printable, or excuse me, your art paper. So I chose this one. I said that you need to print off or use an art paper that is pretty solid in color, right? Because you're going to want because we're going to mount it in our art journal on a white page. So you want what do I want to say? You want contrast, right? We're always talking about contrast. So on this page, you'll see you have two patterns, right? You have this pattern and this pattern. So you're going to want to cut this out and trace it 10 times on your paper. And here's the thing. If you trace it on the front, then you're going to see like where the most color is. I picked one that's got a lot of white in it. I just really liked this one, but I'll show you the one that I did. And then I'll show you Desi's. So I did, there we go. So here's the one I did first, right? So I did Jeff Koons Balloon Dog, and this is the art printable that I used here, but we're gonna step this up, right? And I'm gonna do another one over here, and then I have a quote that we can use, that we can put on our balloon dog. I'm doing a 2-page spread. You can do a 1-page spread, you can do a 2-page spread. I'll show you Desi's. She did a 1-page right there. How stinking cute is that? So you could do 1-page like Desi did, and then she used some of our new crayons, of course. Anyway, so that is what we're going to build. So I'm going to talk to you about Jeff Koons as we trace our shapes and cut them out. I might look for a different paper. So now I'm feeling like, I don't know, that one seems kind of like it has too much white in it or something. So think about, you could certainly, there, or maybe I'll use this one instead, more solidly covered. Okay, so that is so funny that you say that, Nancy. So, Jeff Koons, like I said, he was born in, no, I think we're going to do that tomorrow. We are going to gel print. We did gel print in Michigan, but she really liked it and wants to do it again. Braxton just tolerates us. He doesn't really, he says he hates art now, which I don't know that he really does. I think he's just, you know what, he's 10, almost 11, so you know what, a little bit too cool for school. So here's one that I printed, and I'm going to cut that out while I talk to you about Jeff Koons. So he was born in York, Pennsylvania in 1955, and he studied at the Maryland College of Art in Baltimore, and then the School of Art Institute of Chicago in 1976. So like I said, I like to trace on the front because then I can see the bits and bobs, like where I've where I have the most color, where I have the most color. And this is what I told Desi, I go, you don't have to trace all the way around, you can just butt it up next to the next one, and then you don't have to cut as much. If that is, you know, of concern of yours. So anyway, Jeff Koons, back to Jeff Koons. So he graduated in 1976, and then he moved to New York in 77. And one of his first jobs was he worked at the membership desk of the Museum of Modern Art. But after I dug a little deeper, and that's when he just started to establish himself as an artist. But at the same time, good morning, Denise. He worked as a commodities broker on Wall Street. Which please, could you get more less art like than that? So this is where the controversy starts to come in, because most artists will tell you it's not about the money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 4 more, and I want lots of pattern on mine. So he starts to work as a commodities broker in the 70s and 80s. He starts to create these series with titles like The Inflatables, Equilibrium, and Celebration. He's categorized as a pop artist because he takes things that are familiar, mundane, or popular and turns them into his art. One of his most popular sculptures is what we're creating today, the Balloon Dog. Balloon Dog was part of his Celebration collection of sculptures. Wait a second, did I do? I need to do one more. Oh my gosh, I gotta take these fingernails off. They're so pretty, but really bugging me. So I lost my little triangle. So I'm just gonna draw some triangles right here. There we go. Okay, now we're just gonna start chopping. So Balloon Dog was part of his Celebration series of sculptures that look like they're made from balloons. Balloon Dog was first released in 1994 and was produced by Koons and his studio until the year 2008. Balloon Dog is made of hyper-polished stainless steel and painted with transparent color. The original series came in 5 colors: blue, magenta, orange, red, and yellow. Okay. So that's like the main part of him, right? So now let me tell you some other stuff. I just love to study artists and what do I want to say? Like, what makes them tick? What, do you know what I mean? Like, how did they get where they got, and how did they hello Lisa, how did they get where they got success wise, but also how did they evolve as artists? How did they create with the supplies that intrigue them? And then how can I take their techniques and be inspired in my own art, not copying them? Like we're making a balloon dog out of jelly prints, right? So we're just taking the shapes and creating something similar, but we're being inspired, right? So, and that is very ironic, because I told you he's quite controversial. He's quite controversial because he has been accused of plagiarism repeatedly. He, number one, think about his balloon dogs are something that, like Nancy was saying, her niece likes to make balloon animals, right? Or did you say blue? Anyway, like any birthday party clown makes a balloon dog, right? He just took that and kind of elevated it in an unusual way. Another thing that should be noted about Mr. Koons is that he is regarded as, this is funny. So the Whitney Museum says that he is widely regarded as one of the most important, influential, popular, and controversial artists of the post-war era. But he's also regarded as obnoxious and overrated. He's been accused of plagiarism. He's been accused of plagiarism in a couple of times. One of his works, and now I don't remember the exact name, but I will find out. One of his works, he was accused by the photographer who claims that Koons created some artwork from photos of his. And when you look at the pictures of the photo and Koons's art, they look very similar. I tell you all the time, you guys, we cannot copy somebody else's artwork and claim it as our own. Artists see if you copy their work verbatim. Do you know what I mean? It's okay if you are inspired by someone. Like, it's okay if you're inspired by a technique. So we are creating something that elementary school art teachers have been doing forever and a day, creating Jeff Koons balloon dogs. We're just doing them with art papers, right? So we're putting our own particular spin on them. So Balloon Dog belongs to the Celebration collection, and that consists of balloon dogs, Valentine hearts, diamonds, and Easter eggs. 20 pieces in that collection. And you know, they're huge and oversized. And 20 pieces, and like I said earlier, 5 colors. So his artwork is the Inflatables series. He has been creating forever and a day, and it's fascinating that he began the Inflatables series. I believe that was in like 77. And that was, and he called those like early works or something to that, something similar to that. Anyway, he, hogging up too much of my space. So that he began that work in 78, and that they were, inflatable flowers and inflatable rabbits. So think about an inflatable rabbit. You've all seen them. You've all seen them. So he took an inflatable rabbit and made a sculpture of it. Man, I'm having a hard time talking and cutting at the same time and reading my notes. That's the dilemma, I think. Okay. So I have all my pieces. Does everybody have all of their pieces ready? Everybody take a drink. So we took a ready-made inflatable rabbit and he cast it in highly polished stainless steel. I don't know how he did that. I don't know. But he did. And that became kind of his signature. Right? So he, and he called it Rabbit. I'm not kidding. And that piece, bye Deb, it was nice to see you. Come back because you're going to want to make this, you're going to want this in your art journal. So that piece was sold in 2019, that rabbit, for $91,075,000. It's the most expensive art piece sold by a living artist to date. How insane is that? How insane is that? Crazy, 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 crazy. So, but think about, but he also tried different things, right? So he tried, I think in the early 90s, he created this sculpture called Puppy. And that was this 43-foot tall topiary sculpture of a terrier. And he made it from a variety of flowers on a chrome stainless steel substructure. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so now let's take all of our pieces. I'm going to find my page. And then, so what I started with was the body. And well, hi, Kay. How are you? How are you? So, I know it seems ridiculous, Valerie, but the crazy part of being an artist is you might hit gold one time and then there's a million dry spells. And you guys know I hustle every day for this business and I don't make much money. That's for dang sure. So it seems like a lot, but but he's, I told you, he's quite controversial. It's quite controversial. Okay, so now I like to start laying my pieces out. There's my tail. There's my neck. Because I want to have these two kind of facing each other, I'm gonna kind of be a little Did I only do 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How did I only do 9? Honest to Pete. I only have one ear. Well, did I not cut one? Honest to Pete. That's right. That's right. It's right here in my pile. See why I can't talk and do this at the same time? Okay, so you're just going to start to lay it out on your, yeah, so yes, you do need to go check him out. His sculptures are quite insane. He's controversial in lots of ways. I've read some things where he is, I don't know if it's true, so I shouldn't say it, but there is some controversy out there that maybe he doesn't pay his people very well. Okay, so now I kind of know where mine is going, right? So, this is where I started to, the lawn people are here. Can you guys hear them? I started to I laid it out and then I just started to lay things down. But I really wanted to stay with, like, these I'm going to move and these I'm going to move. that and that. But this one, I know I want to be kind of right there. So I'm just using my glue stick, and this is a Target glue stick. I don't know where, I've got to find my other better glue sticks, but you know what? This is working just fine this morning. So let's go. There we go. Right? I'm just going to start sticking down. Oh, all of his stuff is quite out there. But I think that, and here's the thing, people, I just wanted to be inspired by the balloon dog. I didn't have any big skin in the game. Do you know what I mean? Let's see, what else can I tell you about him? So when he moved to New York, how crazy is this? You know what's so funny, Valerie? Solomon he can barely hear anymore, and he can barely see. So you know what? He used to stand at the living room window and just bark, 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 and tell them all what's for. But now, he doesn't really care. I just thought this was such a cool artsy take on a balloon dog, to do it with art paper with a jelly print, right? So I told you when he first moved to New York and he worked at the membership desk of the Museum of Modern Art, right? At that time, he dyed his hair red, and if you look at him today, he is a very waspy kind of guy. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't look like a crazy artist like I do. He just looks very waspy. But back then, he dyed his hair red, and he grew a super thin mustache after Salvador Dali. I thought that was funny. Okay, we'll do the tail. I want that a little bit closer to the edge of the page. I kind of like that. Then we can do the neck. They are very noisy, but they do a bunch of stuff that we don't have to do in the super hot. And they're working on that dang tree. I told you where the limb was like scooting precariously close to the I kind of like this one. I made go over the edge, and I kind of like that idea, so I think I want to do that with this one too. So I just take my fingernail sort of and kind of jam it in the fold thing there. Okay, and now some ears, and these ears are going to have to go a little bit back and a little bit off the page, so I might have to trim. Aren't they, Joni? And wait till you see how we zhuzh them up after this. After these are all glued down. Alright, so I'm gonna do that and just trim up that little bit. And then there. Under my ears a little bit like that. Okay, so this one I have, so the triangles are the balloon tie, right? So I want that one, I think, right about there, and it could overlap onto the blue animal, the blue doggy. So today we are going to the Cardinals training camp this afternoon. Braxton is out of his mind. So excited. I made him write down, because he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan through and through. And so I made him write down all of the Cardinals players and their positions and their numbers, so that he can take that with him today. And you guys, he can take it with him today, and then I said, and then you're gonna be so, like, you're gonna know those players when you watch them. And in typical 10-year-old fashion, he told me I was forcing him to do it, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Okay, everybody take a drink. Okay, so now we have a couple of more things. Oh, that's nice. How exciting, Tam. There is something crazy about your adult kids coming to stay, isn't there? Okay, so now I told you that you need your watercolor colored pencil. So this is what we're going to do. Let's do it over here. So where things overlap, I'm just going to come in and do some watercolor pencil, because I want that contrast. I want each of those pieces to stand out. And that's going to give me a little dimension too. Do you see the difference just that made? Right? So wherever they overlap or meet, let's do that. Nope, it's a watercolor colored pencil from Faber-Castell, just from my set of watercolor pencils. I promise you don't need anything. Just use what you have. Most of you probably have watercolor pencils of some kind, and if you don't have black, then just pick something dark, There. Look at the difference. Just that. It's made. Just that. Now we can do the same thing. Oh. We could do the same thing over here on the orange. Looks like I need to add a little more glue. And it's okay. This doesn't have to be an exact science either, you know. You could come in with your water brush or a wet paintbrush and kind of smudge this out if you like. You don't have to, but you could. There we go. Ta-da! So my homework to you is go out and look at some Jeff Koons artwork. It's kind of fascinating. I have I'm going to put a little bit of water in my water cup, and I'm going to come in with, I have this little filbert. I love this little filbert, especially for like tasks like this. I'm going to take a paper towel, just dab off, and I'm going to just kind of work out. I forgot to put that there, but there we go. See, that feels way too stark to me, so let's work on that. Let's work on bringing that out, like making that a little bit more subtle. Any excess pigment, just wipe it on your paper towel. We just want that. There we go, there we go, there we go. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I just want that little bit of shadow and contrasty vibe. That little bit of depth. Better, better, better. So we're just going to continue to do that. On both doggies. If you do two. If you only do one, then just do it on one. And the more textury your paper is, do you know what I mean? This one is very textury. Like I have lots of layers of paint on there, so that's cool. I love that it's all bumpy and crazy. And here's the thing, you can continue to zhuzh this up as much as you want. Do you know what I mean? You can lessen it, you can do stuff on top of it. Remember, it's mixed media, so the world is our oyster. That's kind of cool. I like that. See what happens there. I just like to really kind of work out the edges. Do you know what I mean? There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, so you get the idea, right? So I wanted a little bit of contrast and a little bit of, right? But then I want to make sure that I found a really cool quote by him that I thought we could work into our art piece in some kind of way. So I've been looking at mine, and I'm feeling like right here might be the place to put it. Art is a humanitarian act. Art should be able to affect mankind to make the world a better place. I love that. So I think I'm going to do mine right here. And then I'm going to go over my letters with my, well, these here. I just put Jeff Koons Balloon Dog. I'm going to go over my pencil with my number 12. Micron. I will tell you, every time I go to an art store, I look to see if they have microns in the sizes that I like, because I go through them so much. There we go. So I really feel like I should do, because that's going to give me a nice, then that's going to balance, you know. And I think I have a number 5. I think that might be good. Oh, everybody take a drink. Okay, let's look at art is a humanitarian act. So this is my space, right? So I know I kind of thought so too, Keels. I thought so too. So let's change it. I just copied down what I found. Me too. Well, I did. Well, I can't wait to see what you create, Nance. I can't wait. And can I tell you how much I love everybody's take on Tuesday's artsy endeavor. Oh my gosh. You all inspire me every day of my life. I reach higher and I push myself further because of you. That's for sure. I'm kind of liking that, like moistening it and then kind of dabbing it off, because I get kind of a rough, kind of a rusticy vibe. I'm come digging. And here's the thing: you can continue to once this is dry, you can certainly add. I think, yeah, you know what I had. I did, Nance. So I've been having some Facebook challenges. So, and I don't know exactly what happened, but I went to check on my paid class, Back to Art School 101, and Facebook says that I invited so many people, like, that I never did. So I went in that class group today, and I'm telling you, I had to remove, like, holy tamale, like, seriously, a lot of people. It was me. But while I was out there, I saw your name and it said, someone you might know, or something like that. And I was like, oh, well, that I can do. I can send a friend request to my friend Nancy. There we go. Oh my God. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you just are inspired by, and you know what it was, Nancy? It was the colors. You just were your colors were so vibrant and so, oh my gosh. So amazing. Let's do some comfort book. Oh my gosh, I just love these little doggies. An asymmetric tree is 100% a tree. Perfection belongs to another world. Back in ancient Greece, Plato talked about the importance of thinking of ideal forms of things. Ideal love, ideal society, ideal government, ideal shape. It was important to know how things could be perfect in order to make them better, was the general idea. There might not be such a thing as a perfect square in the world of nature, but it helps an architect or town planner to know the ideal version of a square so they can take it from the abstract realm and try their best to replicate it. It helps to know what the perfect form of friendship or education or justice might look like too, so friends and teachers and judges can replicate it. All great stuff, and I am not about to start a fight with Plato, as he was a wrestler as well as a philosopher apparently. But the problems start when we are told we can reach perfection with the right bank account or app or personal trainer, and then we remain imperfect, as all things are, and we might feel even worse for having believed this perfect Platonic world exists. Another reason I don't have to fight with Plato is because Aristotle already did. Aristotle, himself a one-time student of Plato's, had a looser, more earthbound approach to life. He believed that we shouldn't focus on an abstract world of essential forms because this world right here, this one we live on, contains those essential forms. For Plato, a tree... Sorry, I had a little yawn there. was always a poor imitation of an ideal tree, whereas for Aristotle, a tree contains its essential treeness in its very substance. The trouble with perfect abstract ideals that we want to reach is that we never get there. They are untouchable rainbows. Far better, I reckon, to find a comfort in the world itself. To try and see trees as essential versions of trees and ourselves as essential versions of ourselves, and to cultivate the essential spirit of who we are rather than to reach for something that doesn't and can't exist and watch it forever slip through our fingers. Work with what you have. Exist in this world. Be the asymmetric square. Be the wonky tree. Be the real you. Oh, that was good. That was good, wasn't it? I missed those colors too, Keels. I was quite intrigued. She's wily, that Rachel Beth, sometimes. Everybody take a drink. I'm feeling like, should I add more? Should I just leave it the way it is? Shall I erase my pencil lines? Yes. I can do that. So there was this girl that I used to work with, I used to design with when we both designed for Rusty Pickle. And then we designed again together with Faber-Castell. And her name looks like it's M-A-O, I think. And it's like Mao, I think. Anyway, she, you know, we kind of learned from each other as we were going along. That was my first big design team, was Rusty Pickle. And so I was like looking for any kind of inspiration and like what things that I could learn from, you know, my fellow artists. There was a girl who, let me think about her name. She was from the Isle of Wight. I just remember that. But anyway, Mao came up with this lettering idea. So and this was 4,000 years ago. Like, seriously. Seriously. It was like 2008, maybe. Anyway, she would write her letters and then she would fill them in. Fill in the open spots. And every now and again, I do it too. And it was so funny that Desiree was doing it the other day. And I thought, isn't that funny? Something that started with a girl on a design team in 2008 has traveled all around. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. But this just always adds like a little addition to, like, it just zhuzhes everything up. Just that little bit. So she always comes out with, Rachel Beth always comes out with new colors on Friday. They're so pretty. I really want to work on a collaboration with her in some kind of way. I don't know what yet. Haven't figured that out. But I do want to work on a collaboration with her. So let's do these two. Because I think that's going to, again, remember we've talked about repeating the technique. Right. I'm a little obsessed too, Tam. You know how we all have these art bags, you know, with different things in? I have an art bag full of her paints. It's crazy. Do you listen to that, doggy? Remember when Peggy said she was on an art moratorium, an art supply moratorium? And then that didn't last very long. I predict, it's not going to last very long with you either, Valerie. Because you're going to see something that you're like, ugh. Right, Keels? It's a situation. You know what? I keep buying her little tins. You know how you can, her paints, you can choose if you want them in a tin or not. I keep buying her little tins because I like that I can just take one little thing with me if I'm traveling. But now I'm wondering if I shouldn't have, but now I'm deep. Is it expensive? Oh, that's interesting to know. Valerie, that is very interesting to know. Well, I guess it's like any kind of competition, yeah? Oh, I know. I have all my extra samples too because I love that she sends extra samples. I love that. And I have been known to say, Rachel, do you happen to have a perfect hot pink? Does that tell you? Does that surprise anyone that I was looking for a hot pink? And a olive, like an olive green. Almost done. Here we go. Oh, we don't have any over here. Okay. I think I am done. I think I am done. I hope that you had so much fun, just like me. And consider signing up for the Back to Art School class. I've put the parameters on there now. know, don't you love that, Keely? I love that. So be sure to open your newsletters tomorrow. It seems like there was another one that was a little bit loose here. And every now and again she will sell a single. I love it so much. I love it so much. I hope you guys had so much fun today. Remember to open your newsletters tomorrow. And like I said, make some art. Make some art. Have lots of fun, because the ick's coming no matter what. So let's try and, make the most of the stuff we have control over. I adore you all. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the newsletter tomorrow, and then I will see you on Tuesday for our next pop-in paint party. Talk to you soon, everyone. Bye.